There was this famous shot inside a courtroom in the US. A guy sitting there completely still, eyes locked in like he wasn't even in the same room as everybody else. That moment blew up fast online, and it became part of one of the most controversial cases people still argue about. Was he a fully aware killer or a mind that was seriously out of control? The case wasn't just about a string of crimes. It turned into a full-on mystery about a human mind growing up in chaos, violence, and constant dysfunction. The guy's name was Marcus Hill, not a super well-known name outside the case files, but inside the system his name kept popping up again and again. He was born in Omaha in 1987, raised in a home where violence wasn't an exception. It was basically the default setting. His father had a long criminal record, his mother struggled with serious mental issues, and the whole environment was unstable from day one. He didn't grow up learning rules. He grew up learning chaos. By the time he was a kid, things were already off the rails. School fights, aggressive behavior, constant run-ins with youth detention centers. By age 10, he was already a familiar name to social services, way more than most adults ever become. But the real shift came later, inside juvenile detention, when he met someone who started influencing him in a very strange way. A guy named Ethan Crow. Nobody ever fully explained who he really was, but according to the file, he had a strong psychological grip on Marcus. Like, whatever he said, Marcus followed. Over time, Marcus started pulling away from reality. His behavior got more detached, more controlled by outside instructions. Even the scars and tattoos on his body weren't random. They followed patterns that looked directed. Inside detention, he stacked up more than 60 disciplinary reports in just a few years. Assaults, destruction of property, self-harm incidents, all kinds of violent behavior. At that point, it wasn't just a difficult inmate anymore. It looked like a full psychological breakdown nobody could fully explain. One time he got temporary leave to attend a family funeral, and things went sideways fast. An unexpected violent incident happened with a guard. Like the second he had a bit of freedom, everything snapped again. Years later, it escalated even more. He started claiming that his actions weren't really his own, that he was being guided by this same entity he believed was controlling him. Every interrogation, same story. Not me. Something else was pulling the strings. Investigators split into two camps. One side said, this is severe psychosis, a complete break from reality. The other side said, nah, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's using it as an excuse. Things got even more complicated when they dug into his family background. A long pattern of crime, violence, and dysfunction across multiple relatives. Which raised a bigger question. How much of who you become is actually a choice, and how much is just programming from the environment you're raised in? The case went through full psychological evaluations, lie detector tests, long interviews. And in court, you could literally see the contradiction. Sometimes calm and detached, other times completely unstable and unpredictable. In the end, the court ruled he was legally responsible for what he did. But even that didn't shut people up. A lot of experts still question whether that conclusion really makes sense. And the question still hangs there. Was Marcus Hill a guy making his own choices? Or someone trapped inside a broken system that never gave him a real chance to be anything else?